in this problem here, we have 2 to the 2x plus 2 to the x minus 12 equals 0. And this is going to be one of the harder exponential equations that you might find. But it's really actually not that bad. It actually can reduce to a quadratic equation. And let me show you how. So it's just going to require a little bit of rewriting. So here, instead of 2 to the 2x, let's just rewrite this as 2 to the x squared. And that's just going to be a simple exponential rule that you should recognize. And then this is going to be 2 to the x minus 12 equals 0. Now, I'm just going to make a simple substitution here. Let's introduce y into our equation, but that's just going to be y is equal to 2 to the x. So if I plug in y for every 2 to the x that we have, we're just going to get y squared plus y minus 12 is equal to 0. And this is a very simple quadratic equation to solve. Of course, we would get y minus 3 times y plus 4 is equal to 0. So y is equal to 3 and negative 4. But this is where we need to be careful, because remember, we're not solving for y, we're solving for x. So I'll just take each one separately. If y is equal to 3, then let's plug it back in terms of x's so that we can solve for the x instead. So we got 2 to the x is equal to 3, and we could solve this a couple different ways, but we're just going to use the simple equation that allows us to convert between an exponential equation and a logarithmic equation. And that's just going to give us x equals log base 2 of 3. Now, if you needed that as an exact answer, remember that we can use the change of base formula. If you don't recall the change of base formula, let me write it over here for you. And that's just saying that you're going to take the log of 3 over the log of 2. The way that I kind of remember this is that 3 looks a little bit higher than the 2, so I'm just dividing log of 3 and log of 2, because 2 looks like it's almost on the bottom anyways. So if you needed to figure out an exact answer by plugging this into your calculator, just take log 3 divided by log 2. So that's going to be one solution. Now, if we do the same thing with y equals negative 4, then we're going to get 2 to the x equals negative 4. And at this point, you might realize that an exponential is always going to be positive. We can't get a negative number. But if you don't realize that right away, and you end up trying to take log base 2 of negative 4, you'll definitely realize here that you can't take the log of a negative number, or your calculator will notice eventually for you. So that's not a possible solution, so our only solution is going to be log of 3 over log of 2.